since you found the skeleton, how would you tell people that it's you personally? How would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tisdall Tuesday. It's my first Tisdall Tuesday back on the regular computer, which did cause me a little bit of hassle earlier. I am here, as normal, for Tisdall Tuesday with a Chesh who has slightly moved, meaning that she's no longer properly framed. How dare she?
Well, I didn't move.
You did too, I can tell, because you weren't centered anymore.
Ah.
No, don't change it now.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. You'll never catch me. I'll never be in the middle. Never. I brought beer.
I knew this whole show was a mistake. I did too.
Listen, you guys, please let me drink. I need this today. It's one, very hot out. Two, I was looking at some very crazy things today over on my channel, and I need this infusion of alcohol. So if you guys could trigger all the drink triggers, that would be great. Thanks. I would appreciate it. Well, that's a special favor.
That's a special request from Chesh to send gift memberships, I think, because that's the fastest way to get drink triggers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So,
yeah.
We are here. This is one of my monthly shows, you know, and we're here to take a look at Lawrence Tisdall, a French-Canadian young Earth creationist who is in this series giving a talk somewhere in England. I'm not entirely sure. I guess London City, now that I see that it's on the podium there. So I guess he's in London City. So I guess that answers that question. Now I am sure. Unless the podium is lying to me. That's at least a bare possibility.
Yeah.
That like maybe it's actually Bristol, but they have a London City Church logo because they got it secondhand from a London City church. Like that's possible. I doubt it because
impossible. Yeah.
It looks like they have enough money to get their own branding on their own stupid plastic podium. But like, what do I know?
Seems unlikely, but not impossible. Yeah. The odds are not zero.
Right. So I guess I'm just highly confident that they're in London City. Anyway. And this started by Chesh sending me this guy's stuff. I'm like, hey, we should cover this sometime. And I was like, oh, guess who just committed to a multi-year monthly show? It was Chesh.
This guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I dragged her in here, and then she's made my life a living hell ever since with all of her antics.
By being slightly off. By moving slightly to the other side.
Yeah, you did it again. Oh my god.
I'm going over here.
Stop
You'll never take me alive, copper.
I'm gonna write my own program that just dynamically keeps your head dead center in the frame.
And then I'm just gonna start doing like one of these where I'm just moving my head and the camera's gonna go woo.
Yeah, the whole room is gonna move.
I'm gonna make everybody motion sick.
All right. So as per normal, we have our drinking rules, which I'm going to go through. And remember, Chesh has requested that we trigger as many as possible. So I will leave that up to you guys. So first of all, we will take a drink anytime Lawrence Tisdall says something that's so stupid, we just kind of have to get some brain coolant going on. We'll also take a drink if he tells a joke that doesn't land or a story that didn't happen. That is a bit of a judgment call, but this doesn't matter. So, like, I don't care if we get it wrong. Like, whatever. Which also reminds me, I definitely get things wrong on these streams because I'm doing all of this off the cuff without having done any research beforehand. Which is why I usually restrict these streams to like the dumbest creationists where I don't have to look that much up. But still, feel free to fact check anything I say and send me sources that like disprove me, because if you do, you'll probably get a pinned comment. So yeah, do that. Let's see. We'll also take a drink if Lawrence Tisdall mentions the Nazi Party. We'll also take a drink if he or any members of it or their various activities, you know, it brings them up. We'll also take a drink if he mixes up what we can know about Lucy, the Australopithecus afferensis specimen, with what we can know about any wider taxon to which she belongs on the basis of other finds. We call that an ad hominid. We'll also take a drink if he cites a source. We check the source, and not only does it fail to support him, but if it actively contradicts him, we'll take a drink for that. We call that a Trojan source. We only get one ad hominid per stream, by the way, because it just keeps happening once they do it. We'll also take a drink if either Chesh or I can successfully predict what he is going to say before he's going to say it, when it's not super, super obvious. We will also take a drink if I mess up the production of the show. So, for instance, if I accidentally mute myself or mute Chesh, or I switch the wrong scene, or something like that, that's a Dapper as a Professional. Now, if Chesh accidentally bumps her microphone, causing room noise to come in for no reason, that's not a Dapper as a Professional, because that's not me. That's Chesh. Let's see. We'll all take a drink if anyone super chats anything to the effect answers in Genesis are a bag of dicks, or if it's membership chatted, or if anyone membership or super chats anything with any of our kaiju emojis, or if the kaiju come by audibly. Now, I have changed a little bit about how my sound input is working, which means I don't think you guys are going to be able to hear the kaiju if they come in. So it'll be on the honor system on my part. So there you go. I don't know how to fix that right now. I'm going to look into it. But frankly, the other option is that I turn off the big box fan, and no, it's hot. It's July in Tucson. I'm not going to do that. So hit me up in like February. Let's see. We'll also take a drink if anyone sends gifted memberships. Each gifted membership is a drink. If we got 30 drinks to go, I am just going to finish the drink I have and go get another one. I am drinking Modelo Negra. And what are you drinking there, Chesh?
I've got Crack Canoe, which is by Moosehead, which is a Canadian beer company. It is a light beer. It's got 3.5% alcohol, so it's not super alcoholic, and it's only 100 calories per can. Which is pretty good.
Awesome. All right. So let's see. We got a membership chat from Fear Uckfeist Monger, who's been a member at the Tetrapod level for 44 months, who says what I'm going to approximate, because I haven't practiced, as Go Wayeh Mak Honal Basgo Lua, which I'm going to take a drink for because I know what that means. Because
Weirdo Rock said, I was about to say that Crack Canoe sounds familiar and also super Canadian. Yeah, it's super. It's called Cracked Canoe by Moosehead Breweries. It is very Canadian.
That does sound very Canadian. I feel like you would drink that and then your shirt would just turn plaid.
Just automatically.
Yeah, it just happens. Oh, there you go.
Flannel.
Even red and white flannel plaid pants.
Yeah. Yep.
Sapphire Plushy Sorceress Light for $2 says, Happy NB Day. Super awesome kaiju, and we will drink for the super awesome kaiju. Thank you. All right. So, I did mention in the chat, and it is a little bit on my mind that Carmen seems to be not having a great day. She's been seeming low energy. She's trying to cuddle up a little bit more than normal, shedding more than normal, and also shivering a whole lot, which she does not normally do, even though she is part Chihuahua. So
that's not good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she's okay. We'll keep an eye on her, and if she's feeling better tomorrow, then all's good. And if she's still acting funny, maybe it'll be time for a vet visit. Not sure.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. All right. So, I also want to say, hey, if you are a member or a patron and you have access to early access videos, I put up 2 early access videos today. I have videos out until like December. Like the middle of December is basically where my queue would run out if I stopped making videos today. So go check that out after the show or after Star Trek, because it's good stuff.
I was working hard to try to catch up to Dapper, and then I moved and I fell a little bit behind again. But I am still also nearly a month ahead on pre-available videos on Debate Hub. So
see, if only you could render your videos on my computer instead of your computer that takes like 40 hours to render a 2-hour video.
This is true, and we don't need to talk about that.
All right. Well, when last we left off, Lawrence was telling us how there's too much salt in the ocean. Oh no! And
right.
Yeah, we're gonna see more about that, because I like that he has this like a Morton salt canister of salt just tipped going into the ocean. I like that cartoon.
Yeah, it looks like the salt meme.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
14,700 millions of tons of salt are in the oceans of the world.
Whoa.
Who got
big number, therefore God, I guess.
to do that calculation? Don't ask me. Ultimate limit of 62 million years for the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, what's the problem with that? The problem is between the North American, or the American, and the European, African continents, there's supposed to be 200 million years that we've been separating. But the amount
Okay.
of salt in the ocean only represents 62 million years.
Hey, Chesh,
Well, yes,
how long are your fingernails?
considerably.
Oh, but give me a number in like centimeters. Let's pick one. It's a rough estimate. Like if you say 40, I'll not believe you. If you say 0.5, I'll not believe you.
Probably like if you go from like cuticle to end, this one is
Yeah.
probably like 10, and this one's probably closer to nearly 20.
Let's go with the 10 one, right?
Okay.
We'll go with the 21, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I feel like it's shorter than that because, but anyway, fingernails grow at about
I'm
one.
going all the way from cuticle and all the way from cuticle all the way to tip. So
Well, fingernails grow at about a centimeter per year. Did you know that?
yeah.
That means you can't be any older than 20.
Well, I mean, I'm 17, and my birthday was just this past weekend.
enough.
So
But-
math checks out.
But the problem is that you can't just point out that something goes into it. The thing happens, and therefore from that extrapolate. You have to factor in the possibility that there might be a countervailing force, right? It's the same thing with saying, well, there's this much erosion, which means that after this many years, the continents would be eroded flat, as if there's no uplift or deposition on land, which both of those things
Not
are
like
occur.
I file my nails or clip them or they break or
Exactly. And it turns out that the amount of salt in the ocean is determined by both the input and the output of salt, because salt comes out of the ocean. For one thing, ocean water can be carried a good distance as droplets and then dry, depositing salt places. There are geological processes that result in salt being removed from the ocean. There are lots of ways in which salt can leave the ocean. And the thing
the
is,
octopus has that's a good way to put it.
let's see, I will read those super chats. Here we go. First Dutch Tunicate official for $5 says, I am now acclimating a plant to brackish water. Not something I thought I'd ever do, but here I am, Godzilla. We'll take a drink, and hey, good luck. Neurometaputz for $5 says, you mean my fridge can be older than the milk in it? Yes, actually, it can.
Imagine that.
So, the problem now, one of the things he's saying is that the ocean is only outputting 27%.
They had an emoji. They had a kaiju emoji, so I'm pretty sure that's a drink.
That's why I said I'll drink. I drank for it.
More.
No, I'm not going to drink more. I already had a drink. If you want more, then people should give more super chats.
Okay, go on.
All right. Or Lauren should just be dumber. So he's got output 27%. Now, I don't know where he's getting that number, but I'll just take it for now. Because the other thing is that
Sure.
the rate is not always going to be in perfect equilibrium, and that's fine, right? Like, think about it with your nails, right? Occasionally, you come and clip your nails, or you file them down, and then a bunch gets taken off real quick, and then you wait a while, and they grow back for a little while. And then you come and you clip a bunch, right? It's because it's a long-term process. So in the long term, the amount of salt going into the ocean and the amount coming out is more or less even, but it's not always going to be exactly even. Sometimes the oceans will be de-solidifying. Sometimes they'll be getting more, they're not solidifying. What about it? They'll be desalinating. There we go. I don't know. Sometimes they'll be getting more salt and they'll be getting saltier. And that's going to vary over the history of the Earth. So here we go.
So that's a problem. Now you say 62 is a lot more than 6,000. Yeah, but God didn't have to start with fresh water everywhere. In fact, it's very unlikely that he started with fresh water since we have saltwater species that are specifically saltwater species.
Also, I have him turned up all the way. I don't know why he's so quiet. But also, it's convenient that any amount of salt is compatible with his model, because that means that his model just doesn't make a prediction for ocean salinity. Whereas real science does actually make predictions about ocean salinity on the basis of like geological processes and like the water cycle and like the rock cycle and such.
I don't mind if somebody who has this kind of faith that Lawrence has decides to pull the God did it card. All right? I think that's okay. In fact, I think that's probably more convincing than trying to bullshit about science. But if you're going to do that, why are you wasting your time putting out garbage about science? Stop. If you're not going to bother, then don't bother.
Yeah. I mean, that's
At least it's a
good
more
point.
honest position.
Yeah, like this isn't scientific. I don't have anything to say about science. Here's the things I believe because it's in the book. Okay.
And then just say, hey, guess what? None of this is incompatible. Because if you're going to say that, oh, God did it in the way that it makes sense, then you don't have to fight with science. You could just say, well, God did it this way, and science is just figuring out the way God did it, or figuring out like the signs of God everywhere. Ooh, fancy, right? Like you can just do that. You can just do that. You don't have to be a jerk, which is what he is doing.
But if you take the amount of salt springs that are in the ocean, you actually lower that dramatically to within the time frame of just several thousand years.
So God did it, or there is science that you can
springs?
do. I don't know.
So what salt spring? I'm not aware of salt springs that just add salt, like just pump salt into the ocean. I don't know. Look, someone check up. I don't think that's a thing I've heard of. Maybe it's a thing.
I won't go through all this, but this is, if you look at sediment in the ocean, it's the same thing. You end up with the amount of sediment that's being transported to the ocean, and you end up with this.
Oh, hey, you know how I mentioned salt spray, which is one of the things he's pointing at as removing salt? You know how I also mentioned geological processes, and he doesn't have that on there at all? Uh-huh. Would you be surprised to learn that our current estimates say that geological processes are actually the vast majority of the ways that salt gets removed from the ocean? Would that surprise you at all?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's just not showing us the biggest source of salt removal from the ocean.
Oh, so conveniently? Imagine that.
Situation, the oceans could not, if you measure the sediment, be older than 30 million years old. So in other words, I'm looking at all kinds of areas, and I'm not seeing any evidence for an old Earth. The only...
Okay, here's another thing that's fun about this. This is from Young Earth Creationism by, I think, Henry Morris. And he makes this argument in Young Earth Creationism, and he has an accompanying table. But one of the fun things about that table is if you turn to it, you will notice that he has a number of things that are not just sodium and chloride, right? He has some different metals and other, like, minerals that are dissolved in the ocean water. One of which is aluminum. Yeah. And if you start at 0 aluminum in the ocean and you assume no removal of aluminum, which is what Henry Morris does, and then you take a look at how much aluminum washes into the ocean, which he does, you come out with an amount of time for the age of the Earth, which is what he's using this for, of 100 years.
Well, obviously the Earth can't be older than the people living on it.
Yeah. So I feel like this argument has always been a bad one, even when Henry Morris first made it in Scientific Creationism.
This is not a good argument.
It's really not.
This guy is blindfolding himself and saying, where's all the evidence? I've looked everywhere. And it's like, my guy, turn the light on in the room.
Yeah, there's a switch right over there. Cheating on the drinking game right there.
I'm so thirsty.
Wow. People are going to start sliding into your DMs now.
You say that like they don't already.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I guess technically I'm in your DMs almost every day.
It's true.
Yeah.
The place we're finding evidence for an old Earth is radiometric dating.
I mean, that is a place. Sedimentology is also already enough to show us that the Earth has to be at least a few million years old. But, like, whatever.
This picture I took when I was in...
Oh my god, just drink for the polystrate tree that doesn't actually go through different strata.
Thank you.
Let's see. Mike PhD 42 says your supposed alkaline water was full of potassium chloride. Don't judge me. Our campus Coke contracts people are dumb as F, and our local fountain tastes like butt. Look, I'm not going to judge you, but that is an interesting additive. Look, if what's available is the special alkaline water, which doesn't really do anything, it also just doesn't do anything. So you're just drinking some water with a slightly low or high pH, like whatever. You're not going to get hurt by the fact that your water has a pH of 8.
Goggins, Nova Scotia. I took 24 people there. Now it's a heritage site, but at the time, you could
Chesh, I would like for you to know. Okay, so Joggins, Nova Scotia specifically, right?
Yeah.
Was talked about in a book called Acadian Geology,
Okay.
where this account of these vertical fossils was talked about. And the explanation that is still the current explanation, that is in fact the explanation supported by science, was given in that book. I would like you to guess which decade that book was published in.
70s.
Earlier.
Ah! 50s?
Earlier.
42.
Like AD 42? Like 9 years after Jesus died? What do you mean by 42?
No, like 1942.
Earlier.
What? When was it?
1880s.
What?
This has been a dumb claim since the 1880s.
Wait, that's older than what the book he was quoting was from with the graph of the aluminum.
Way older. Way older. Almost a century older. It's 90 years older.
No.
Yep.
Why? Why would you do that?
This is a phenomenon that we've known the explanation for since before Darwin published On the Origin of Species. Yep. You want to take a wild guess as to what the crazy explanation is for fossilized vertical tree trunks that don't cross strata, by the way?
Yeah, do it. Tell me.
Tree trunks don't always fall over when the tree dies, and some of them live in places with seasonal floods. That's it. That's the explanation. That's all of it.
Hey, that's pretty straightforward and pretty, yeah.
Yup. And we've known about this phenomenon for
nearly
140 years? No, way more than 140. Way more. Yeah, because 1980 would have been, the 1980s would have been 100 years, and we're 40 years on from that.
18.
Yeah, so 140 years is about how long we've known that this is BS. We got a couple super chats here. Dutch Tunicate Official for $2 says, my tap water has a pH of 8.6. Get on my level. That's very alkaline for tap water. Huh. I actually don't know what the pH of my tap water is.
I'm just gonna really quickly admonish both of the people who sent super chats without setting a kaiju emoji, thus not allowing me to drink. And I just want you to know that I'm very sad about this.
Understandable.
You could have added that emoji. It was free. You were already in there.
That's what she said. Templar Warden for $2 New Zealand says,
I'm so thirsty.
Also what she said. I can't believe you replaced the entirety of Canada.
Oh man.
Canada wasn't doing anything. It's fine. We didn't need it. I mean, what is the point of Canada? What do they even do up there? Probably nefarious things. Yeah.
Sweating my ass off is what we're doing up here.
Hunting beavers, collecting maple syrup.
Yeah.
Single-handedly supporting the world's flannel demand. You know.
And a lot of so fun fact I learned recently, the United States actually does more beaver stuff than we do. You guys have more beavers than us.
I mean, that does make sense. There's a much larger area of land with beavers in it in the United States than there is in Canada.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the area that the United States occupies has more beaver-friendly space than Canada does, because a lot of Canada is the shield and gets icy.
Yeah. Let's see. Shano07AU, who's been a member for 17 months at the amulet level, sends Godzilla, Mothra, and Ghidorah, and we will take a drink.
I'm going to take 3 because Shano understands the assignment.
Fair. Switchflight, who's been a member at the Tetropod level for 10 months, says, for the thirst with a Godzilla, and we'll take another drink.
Thank you.
Your voice cracked a little bit there. Are you going through, second puberty? Okay.
I'm going through it, man.
All right.
Going through something. All right.
It's true. You've been having a pretty crazy week.
I've had a very busy month and a half. I got a lot going on, and I'm working on it. We're getting settled. We're getting back at work. We're gonna be fine. Everything's fine. It's okay.
Oh, wait a minute. The U.S. might produce more like beaver pelts than Canada, but per capita, I bet Canada still produces more.
Yeah, probably.
Or per 100,000 individuals or something, which is probably what you had to measure because it's probably under 1 per capita.
If you measure the amount of beaver per person in like the population of the country, Canada would have more beaver to person ratio.
You could also argue that in some ways,
I think
basically all countries have about 0.5 beavers per person.
Oh. The Canadians, a space advocate, is asking, has Dapper seen the Red Green Show? Dapper, have you seen the Red Green Show?
That doesn't sound familiar, so I don't think so.
Oh my god! Next project.
All right. Do I have to watch it while eating like poutine or something? Is it a very extremely Canadian thing?
Yes.
And don't come at me with it's a French Canadian dish. It has spread across Canada. You can get poutine anywhere in Canada now. Also, you can get it in a lot of places in the States too. But also, Sapphire Plushie Sorcerer's Life has gifted 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships, which means we drink 5 times. Which Chesh isn't even doing. What a loser. Just typing at people.
Somebody in your chat is asking how to send me booze. I am occupied right now.
Oh, okay. You know what? That is fair. If you want to send me booze, the easy way is just get me like a DoorDash gift certificate and I'll spend it on booze. Zerolon did that once. Actually, he did it while you and I and he were all live. And he was like, Dapper, you should go drink or something. And I'm like, I don't have anything. He's like, well, I'll give you something. And so, yeah, he sent me like a $50 DoorDash gift certificate, which I spent on rum.
Could go and pick fossils that had dropped off the cliff, sort of like you can in Dorset, but we have better fossils.
To be fair, he's not wrong. They do have better fossils.
We had better. My fossil's better than your fossil.
He's right though. Like if I wanted to go fossil hunting, I'd much rather go to like Nova Scotia or like Quebec than like Dorset.
Okay, yeah. I mean, fine, but also,
which actually means he's right. So we take a drink. No, he's right on this one. He does have better fossils.
There, that's the information if you want to send me alcohol. That's how to do it. Canada
has some of the best Paleozoic fossil beds, in part because all the Mesozoic and the Cenozoic strata got scraped off by all the glaciers. And so what's left is like crystalline bedrock in the Canadian Shield. But then the places that still do have sedimentary deposits, it's mostly like Paleozoic, which is one of the reasons why you get stuff like the Burgess Shale, which is in Burgess, which is in Canada.
Well, I mean, better fossils, different fossils.
No, dude, own it. You have better fossils than a lot of England. Not all of England. Some of England has some really cool fossils, like a lot of the marine fossils that like Mary Shelley was digging. Not Mary Shelley, but Mary Anning. That's it. Mixed up my Marys.
Right?
No, I'm not.
Nope.
When do you think the last time I could reasonably say I was okay was?
You're valid, but also listen, everybody's going through it, and I got to drink my 5.
Yeah, you do. Olivia Williams, Triple Fairy, member for 50 months says, I heard Quebec doesn't have much fossils because we were on the Canadian Shield, Mothra. So it's going to depend exactly where you are, and it's better in Nova Scotia. I'm not going to pretend. If you really want good Canadian fossils and you're in the east of Canada, go to Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia has some Ediacaran beds. Pretty cool. Do I sleep in a fossil bed? Yes, actually, because I am a fossil. So all beds that I sleep in are now fossil beds. It's like, what's a dog bed? It's a bed that a dog sleeps in.
Oh. Is that how that works?
I think so. So like if you just put a dog in a bed, that's a dog bed, at least as long as the dog is there.
So it's like preemptive, so it doesn't matter what kind of. So there's like beds that are made for dogs,
right? And
then there's a dog bed, but a dog bed can be any bed that a dog is sleeping in.
I think so, at least.
Does it still have to be a bed, or can a couch be a dog bed?
I think it has to be made for sleeping on. So if it's a futon, it can be a dog bed.
Futon.
That could be a dog bed, right? So yeah.
A futon counts, but like a reclining chair.
No, not unless it's made for people who want to sleep in it, which most of them aren't.
Yeah, like lazy boys are clearly designed to be comfortable for granddad to snooze in after turkey dinner, but like that's not really the job.
Right. Fits of Rage has just gifted a Dapper Dinosaur membership. We'll take a drink for that. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Actually, last time
Thanks,
I was
Bits.
on the recliner, I was listening to an audiobook.
Also, thank you, Olivia.
And Carmen was very, very eager to come on the recliner with me, but I wasn't reclining, and she was having trouble getting like the full height. So like I reclined it just a little bit to give her like a ramp to come up on the recliner.
Oh.
Yeah, she was very happy about that.
And they're, as you can see, they're well preserved. And this is a tree in the rock. So the question is, did this tree just stick around for 100,000 years while it got fossilized from the roots up?
No, it stuck around for a few decades. Because what you're looking at is the remains of a bog where deposition happens faster than decay, and also a bog that had irregular but seasonal flooding. That's what you're looking at. So, no, in fact.
Trees don't just evaporate overnight.
Yeah, he just said it was a polystrate tree, except it doesn't go through multiple strata because no fossil has ever been shown to do that. So we'll take a drink.
As opposed to a polygay tree?
There we go. Or just a polyamorous tree. It could be pan. You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Stop assuming the tree's gender.
Or sexuality, for that matter.
Yeah.
Actually, virtually all plants are hermaphrodites. So most of them don't actually have a sex. And they don't have social groups, so I don't think they can have gender. It also makes the idea of sexuality kind of weird. Like, if every single member of your population has exactly the same reproductive organs, does it really make sense to say that there's, like, sexual orientations? I don't know.
Yeah, no. It's like just trying to discuss the gender of mushrooms. Like, don't. Just don't.
Oh.
If you ever want to really... Oh, hell yeah. If you ever want to upset a bigot... Tell them about that. Just tell them to just ask them to define the gender of any fungus. They won't. Their brains will explode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fear. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Red Seller says, "Don't take fossil beds for granite." I get it. Also, granite generally does not have fossils. Actually, I don't think it can have fossils because how it forms. So, yeah.
I would like to propose a new drinking rule that I will implement on Debate Hub and will implement on my own channel, but I'm going to propose it here, and you're welcome to take it if you'd like. Puns. Drink for pun.
All puns?
Yeah, all puns. If they're bad enough.
There's too many puns. I don't know if I can drink for that.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I will drink for puns. As long as the pun is good enough to make me groan, I'll drink for it.
Ah, that's the key.
Yeah. It's got to be good enough. It's got to be it can't be trash tier. Like if somebody says, "Oh, that's punny," that's bad. Boo this man.
And there are so many of them. They think they're forests. The problem with the idea is that they're forests is that they never have any branches, and they have all their rootlets are taken off. So this wasn't actually forest. It's that they moved in a mud flow.
Okay, so a couple problems. Mud flows do not stand trees up.
Yeah, why would it be? Okay.
The branch thing is in part because branches can get broken off more easily than the trunk, and if the trunk is sticking around for decades, it's probably going to be largely denuded of branches, especially as the level of the ground goes up, making those branches available to herbivores to just kind of strip off as they're eating whatever leaves might be remaining there, or just weather. Another thing is that this place has what's called paleosols. So a paleosol is basically fossilized soil. And the thing about soil is that it takes years to form, which means every single layer of paleosol represents years of environmental stability in that area such that a soil could form. Which means, no, it wasn't a single mud flow because you cannot get paleosol layers inside of a mud flow. And can you tell I've addressed the Joggins, Nova Scotia, quote-unquote, polystrate trees a few times? It has been coming up for decades. When I was a young Earth creationist, I was familiar with this talking point.
But it's all, the strata don't represent any age difference in reality. It doesn't make sense. So
they would have to represent an age difference, even if... Also, hold on. You said this was a polystrate tree over more than one stratum, Lawrence. And then you said they all came in one mud flow. one mud flow would be one stratum, Lawrence. What is happening? How did it suddenly get dumber than I thought?
Yeah, we did it.
I'm taking
We're
another
evolving.
drink.
We're leveling up. I would like to point out 2 puns in the chat that I will drink for. I saw Amber Rum and Dino Nuggies said Chesh is looking to get punch drunk.
Ah!
And Shano for 5 said, is Chesh looking for extreme punishment? I'll take 2.
All right.
Bless.
This is going to be like that time that we were on Rum and Coke and you ended the stream by just vomiting off screen.
No, we were still live for a little while after that.
Okay.
Not terribly long, but a little while.
After you fell out of the chair, we were all like, I don't know if Chesh is okay.
No, I didn't fall out of my chair. What do you mean? You didn't even know that I puked on the
That's
video
true.
until I told you.
We
didn't
knew
even know.
We knew you fell out of the chair, though. In fact, we asked your mom to check on you.
Nobody has any faith in me. 0.
Look, if I were, in my human suit and drinking and I fell out of my chair, I would hope that someone would ask Bent to go check on me.
I don't think I fell out of my chair. I think you guys think I fell out of my chair and I actually just went to the bathroom.
Maybe.
The polystrate fossils. These are found actually all over the world. Here's
Check the
blood
record.
cells. For those who saw the dinosaur talk, I talked about red blood cells in a T-Rex knee. How long do you want those to stick around? 65 million years? You get red blood cells stick around?
Okay, saying it with uptalk in an incredulous tone of voice doesn't actually make anything less likely, because that's
Less
not how
likely
science
to be
works.
happening?
Yeah,
This guy apparently has a degree?
yeah. It turns out actually that we have chemistry that we worked out and that can preserve soft tissue, at least in terms of protein fragments, almost indefinitely.
Indefinitely?
Indefinitely. Yeah.
Indefinitely.
So,
What is uptalk? What is updog?
I don't know. What's up with you? You fell for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So the deal is that, yes, in certain particularly well-preserved fossils, remains of soft tissue in the form of protein fragments can form, usually with the help of iron cross-linking, which is able to preserve these fragments more or less indefinitely. And cross-linking is the same basic chemical process that preserves proteins and other biomolecules in cases like formaldehyde, right? So we have specimens in formaldehyde that would normally have rotted away in years in the conditions that they're stored in, except for the formaldehyde, which allows them to persist for centuries and centuries, essentially unchanged other than some wrinkling. Now, the soft tissues that we're finding in these cases are not nearly as well preserved as a 200-year-old shark baby in formaldehyde.
I feel like the image we're looking at just looks like a colon with boba tea in it.
I guess it does a little bit, but those are round structures that were found by Dr. Mary Schweitzer back in, I think, the late 90s that are
As opposed to
morphological.
square structures?
Well, sure. There are square
They go
structures
in
in
the square
life.
hole?
Well, everything goes in the square hole.
Everything goes in the square hole.
Are you just remembering the woman's distress?
Look, I got this for my birthday.
Oh, who sang you that?
I don't know yet, but somebody sent it to me from Throne for my birthday.
Oh.
I want to paint him little red eyes so he can have actual eyeballs or something.
Did
But
anyone
isn't he cute?
send you anything else?
I don't know. This is what I got. This is what I received so far.
Oh, because remember that time
It takes time for stuff to show up.
on your birthday that I said, because of my poor planning, your birthday gifts aren't going to arrive today. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I got you that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, that's from you?
Yes.
Oh,
I guess
dang
Throne
it. Well,
didn't
they didn't have
say.
a note.
I've left a note.
They
I
didn't
guess
have
it didn't come with it.
Oh,
Thanks, Throne.
I didn't get the note. Well, thank you. Now I got to decide what I'm going to put inside of it.
I was sitting here thinking, is this some kind of a trick? What's happening?
Yeah, is she fucking with me? It would have been funny if I was. Look, he's got a little pee hole.
Oh, well, that's nice. Put a tray under it.
Some newspaper.
There you go. I just lost my entire train of thought.
Good.
Right.
That's what I'm here for.
Dr. Schweitzer. So she said these were morphologically consistent with red blood cells, which they are. And as far as I know, she has never claimed that they are red blood cells because she generally does not claim to have sufficient evidence to demonstrate with a high degree of confidence that they are blood cells. Now, are they the remains of blood cells? I think probably yes. But can I say that for certain? No. So there you go. Yeah, I was going to get you something on Steam, but then I looked and you hadn't logged into Steam for 3 months, so I decided not to.
That's not right. I'm on Steam on the regular. That's not, something's lying to you. Bruce Wayne said geologists aren't perfect. They all have their faults.
Ah!
I'm drinking for that one.
In fact, this afternoon at whenever we finish, we're going to go down. Whoever wants to join us downstairs, I'm going to have the microscope that we saw yesterday. And so anybody who wants to see relatively fresh, non-fossilized dinosaur cells, bone cells, I will have the microscope downstairs and you can look at the Triceratops cells, non-fossilized.
Okay.
What?
Is Lawrence telling me right now that he has a fossil slide that is a section from a Triceratops bone and that has non-permineralized cells in it?
Yes, that is what he's saying.
I find this extremely unlikely.
I find this very difficult to believe. You don't find that one hard to swallow.
Who would have provided him with such a thing? Okay, hold on. Do you think it was Mark Armitage, who almost certainly is not working on a Triceratops bone? Do you think Mark Armitage gave him some of his weird congealed sludge that he pulled out of a bison horn and gave it to Lawrence and is saying, this is Triceratops tissue?
Oh, that's... Oh my god, that could be the case. That could be real.
I have trouble imagining a different way.
I think that's more likely than him just just lying on his own. Like, I think that's more likely.
Well, yeah, because clearly, like, people are going to be able to check to see, does he have a slide with things on it that I can look at that look kind of like what I would expect cells to look like? Because the answer has to be yes, right? Because, like, people are going to check. So...
Well, yeah, he's inviting people to go down and look, right?
I think this might be from Armitage. Because I can't imagine anyone else who would give him what they think is a Triceratops bone section with soft tissues. Like, who else would do that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How old can they be? They're not fossilized. Okay? This lady has shown that these dinosaurs...
This lady, Dr. Mary Schweitzer, is this lady's name. I know you have Mary Schweitzer on there. She does, in fact, have an actual PhD. We could show her the respect of actually using her title. You know, I don't know. It comes off as a little bit misogynistic when you say this lady, and then you talk about the PhD scientist who made a major breakthrough in paleontology. I don't know. Is it just me, or is it also giving you some misogynist vibes there, Chesh? You'd probably be a better judge.
It's grossly disrespectful at the very least. So if it definitely has at minimum misogynistic undertones, if he's not just being salty that everything she said would be slapping him in the face and telling him he's wrong. And that's not what she was saying at all. And so he might be aware of that. So he might be being flippant and dismissive based off of that. But there is definitively misogynistic undertones, at least.
I'm also going to predict that he will not point out that she is, in fact, a former young Earth creationist who stopped being a young Earth creationist while learning paleontology and who is also still an active and devout Christian.
Yeah.
Yep. He's probably not going to bring that up.
No. That would be context, and he doesn't seem to like that.
T-Rex bone she cut. See the red blood cells, collagen, pulled it 17 times. Said, how could that be? How could that be?
By the way, it wasn't a full collagen strand, and again, we don't know that they were blood cells. It was collagen fragments, because no intact collagen has ever been found in a Mesozoic dinosaur bone.
Bro, stop asking questions as if they don't have answers, and then just pretending your incredulity counts as evidence of something.
Yep. It reminds me of the time I was talking to that Israeli flirf friend of Mikey Smith. And we were off air, so I don't have it recorded, so whatever. But Mikey had ended the stream and he had to go, so I stayed on with him for a little bit. And he said, like, how come no one has ever gone around the globe north to south? And so I just Googled it. I'm like, here's like a list of like 12 times that's happened. What? He's like, well, I didn't know about those. Like, did you check?
Why don't you do it?
And that's what I asked him. I was like, why is it that you're making this claim that you haven't checked on? Like, it took me one Google search, a very simple Google search, to figure out.
It took me 30 seconds.
Yeah, like, and like, look, you can say, I don't believe that they did it, but you have to at least acknowledge that people claim to have done it and have an explanation for that, right? Like, you can't just say it didn't happen. Like,
you could at least, at minimum, right? At minimum, you could at the very least have some additional information, right? Something. If you're going to blatantly just say something like that, it's one thing to blatantly say something like that when you've looked and you haven't been able to find something. Right? Or like, oh, I looked it up and this is what I found and it didn't comport with like with this other thing. That would be fine. But to say something so bald-faced without even having checked at all.
Yep. And that's exactly what Lawrence is doing. So, hey, Will Duffy, next time you complain about people comparing young Earth creationists and flurfs, I want to point out that professional young Earth creationists keep acting like flurfs.
Yep.
So if you want to avoid that, bring it up with y'all, with your own people, right? It's not a me problem. I'm not inappropriately comparing this man to a flat earther. He is acting like one.
And of course, this is still reactive. And so
still reactive in that it is still a chemical and can therefore undergo chemical processes. Cool.
Then we have the one that I'm going to show later on, which is, this is Triceratops blood. That's in the scanning electron microscopy. It was published by Mark Armitage.
Hey!
What did I say?
Hey!
What did I say?
Prediction. That counts. That's confirmation as far as I'm concerned.
Vessel. So we get all these things. We start looking.
Oh, and hey, you know what else he didn't do? Is mention that Mary Schweitzer was a young Earth creationist, just like him, until she actually studied science.
Double.
Mm-hmm.
We drink.
I'm running out of beer here.
Me too. I didn't put another one in the fridge. Oops.
Oh, what is wrong with you? I mean, I guess you could run right now and put it in the freezer. Bye, Chesh.
A young age. And you'll see here it says, what's the theory of a billion years old? There's only one method possible, radiometric dating. Speculative hypothesis and often proven false.
Okay, I'm sorry. Radiometric dating is a hypothesis that's often proven false. First of all, no, it's a dating technique that sometimes returns anomalous numbers, as all measurement techniques do. So, no.
Based upon a phenomenon that operates over millions of years, it's out of the realm of testable science.
No, again, this is just like with Kent Hovind saying, who stood around with a stopwatch to see if the half-life was 1.3 billion years? No one. Just like when the cop pulls you over for going 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, you don't get to say to the cop, well, did you follow me for 100 miles to see if it took me 60 minutes to go that far?
Could you imagine if you could?
Right? Like, I'm sorry. I don't think that your radar gun has scanned me for an entire 100 miles to see if it took 60 minutes. It doesn't matter. The values of the units on a rate, that's arbitrary, right? We pick which units we want to assign to a measurement, right? You could choose something else, right? Like, let's say, oh, I want to measure the billionth life of, or sorry, the 999 millionth life. How long does it take to go from 100% to 999 millionths? Or sorry, 999 100,000, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so like 0.1% goes away, right?
Yeah.
Then I only had to measure it for 0.1% of its decay. And it's the same value because you can just convert it into half-life, right? It's like saying, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't go 100 meters. I went like 300 whatever feet. It's the same thing. We don't have to wait around for a whole half-life to measure the half-life.
They're the same.
I'm going to take another drink for this man being so stupid that he does not understand the idea of measuring a rate other than just waiting for the full time period. Give it in the freaking unit.
They also like the Lawrence has done this, and like I've seen like others on like Kent with Ben and some of the other ones that you like Matt with Maddie and stuff. Because I see this happen on a regular basis where they'll throw incredulity at the mathematics to like discern the rate of something by saying that maybe there's more variables we don't understand, as if pretending that we can't know what some of those variables might be. So like take for example an ice cube. If I put an ice cube in my hand, the rate that that ice cube is going to melt is going to be different than the rate the ice cube melts if I put it on my desk. Because my desk is not emitting the same amount of heat that I am in the area of the ice cube. Or if I go and do the same thing and I stand in a different room in my house. But we can still do the math if we know some of these variables, or even if we don't know the variables are definitively happening. So maybe I didn't do it. Maybe I'm like, okay, well, this ice melted and this ice melted, but these ices melted at different rates. But you know the temperatures in the rooms of my house? You can do algebra and just be like, solve for X.
No, algebra is impossible now.
Oh, my bad.
Remember the observation? Remember our two little spheres? You don't see it?
Wait, was he talking about his balls?
Hi, we're back to talking about his balls again.
Oh, man. We haven't seen those in a while.
Yep. Do they still exist? Object permanence isn't a thing for young Earth creationists. So how does he know he still has balls?
I, for one, don't know that he still has balls. Maybe he's holding them.
We can't possibly know. Maybe he's holding them.
If he's holding them, he would know.
Shaky ground. Theory of thousands of years. It's confirmed by multiple geochronological methods that we've just seen.
Not a single one of which could actually work as a dating method, especially the salt accumulation time. I want to point out none of them are actual dating methods because all of them have confounding variables that mean that you can't actually rely on them to give you rates. And in fact, in many cases, we know that you can't rely on them. So
you mean that thing I said earlier about knowing variables and not knowing variables is something that is taken into consideration when dating methods are designed, elaborated on, and utilized in science?
Yep. On the other hand, something that's basically just entirely determined by like the strength of the forces in a nucleus. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe physics was just broken back then. Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Only hypothesis is that the processes are constant in the past. That's the only hypothesis we're making. We're saying what we see now is constant. We're not even saying necessarily that a flood did it.
No, you're saying it about things that aren't constant, Lawrence. Right? It's the same crap as like someone saying, oh, hey, you know what? In the first 3 months of life, my baby doubled in size. So I bet by the time that my kid hits 18, he'll be 40 feet tall. No!
Lawrence needs to go in the, my little dumpster with googly eyes.
Yeah, I'm going to take a drink for how dumb that is. Which also means I'm out of beer.
Ah!
That was my last drink of beer. So we're going to take a quick intermission, early intermission, and then we're going to see how much more withholding the chat can be with drinks for Chesh.
Okay, well, just so you guys know, chat, Dapper's going to be on Debate Hub on Saturday. It's already scheduled on the channel, so you can go look while we're on break.
Also, if you guys do 46 super chats in the second hour, which is what we would have to do, I will do an extra stream on Sunday.
Oh.
On this channel. It'll just be an extra stream. So, like, you know, if you want to see extra Dapper, there's already 4 hours worth of Dapper today if you have early access. So, all right, we'll be right back.
More dinosaur.
next time on Star Trek Endurance.
Captain's Log Stardate 61228.8. We are once again headed back to Calmira. But this time, in the open, with a happier task than before. The Calmirians have expressed interest in joining the Federation, and so the Kongzi is bringing a delegation of diplomats to discuss entry requirements, benefits, obligations, etc. One potential snag in all this is that a group of Calmirians called the Sunseekers are not really unified with the rest of Calmirian society, and so it's not clear if the Calmira meet the requirements of a unified planetary government that is needed to join the Federation. When we were here on Stardate 61110, we did seem to improve the relations by helping them unite with us to fend off the invasion by Ashtamalia and her Telekal Adiri allies. Perhaps that can be a basis for more trust. Given our experience last time on Stardate 61208, let's also hope there are no more Vinshari lurking around waiting to further cement their expansionist claims in the Shackleton Expanse at the expense of other species in the region.
The Sunseekers are indeed interested in joining with the rest of Calmiran society to join the Federation, but their religious zeal and fierce independence makes the terms tricky to negotiate. Unbeknownst to the crew and the Calmirans alike, however, there is a force working behind the scenes that does not care about the diplomatic mission or have the best interest of the Calmirans in mind. When an attack is launched against the conference, the crew must defend their allies and investigate the cause and perpetrators of this heinous act. Can the crew facilitate Calmira joining the Federation while finding out who is behind the attack and what their plan is? Find out next time on Star Trek Endurance, only on the Top Hats Off channel. Okay, we are back, and everyone got to listen to Chesh's wonderful Captain Vlog narration. Yay.
I've been told I did good this time.
Yeah, I thought so. I liked it. And I even gave you a plan for how to do good next time.
I guess, arguably.
Yeah. Now everyone gets to guess what it is, and no one will guess it right. And it's also now obligatory for next week.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. Goop23 for $5 says, algebra doesn't exist. Oh, thank God, I don't have to keep playing Fatal. Oh, joke. Oh, man. Chesh, do you know about Fatal, the TTRPG?
I have heard about it, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a TTRPG where one of the roles it might ask you to take is you need to take an anal circumference check.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't play Fatal. Actually,
don't play Fatal.
From what I understand, it's not actually technically playable because it doesn't actually have rules to account for many of the common things that will come up. Like, it doesn't have combat movement rules. It just doesn't have those.
Listen, it was focused on other things, okay? Other things.
That is true. But, like, I want to move in combat. Like, well, you just kind of have to make it up. Yeah, Fatal is...
move in combat.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say, don't search for the role-playing game Fatal on your work computer. Do that on your personal cell phone or your personal computer if you want to ruin your search history.
Or do it on your coworker that you don't like's work computer.
There you go. Arrow Doctor for $4.99 says, all I'm hearing is natural language reasoning and analogies, blah, 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 blah. Can I get some numbers and units? No. I'm starving over here with 2 trans pride flags. Thank you very much. And we are, in fact, a trans rights supporting channel. And let's see. Let's update the numbers here on the tracker. And
updates.
Now that I am back and we have read the super chats, I will say, guys, this channel is entirely supported by people like you who are watching the stream, whether it be through super chats, memberships, gifted memberships, super thanks, super stickers, any of those things, right? Join the Patreon. This channel cannot exist unless it receives support. And so if you like what we do here and you want to see me be able to continue to do it, there are a few great ways to help out. The first one is a Patreon. That's where I get to keep the most of it that you give me. So it's the one I prefer. That is linked in the description. It starts at only $1 a month. You can get a 15% discount if you go annually. It's like $10 for a year of early access to this channel, which I don't know. I think that's a pretty good deal. So it also gives you access to my Discord server where there's a lot of like pet pictures and a supportive community, and we do watch parties after the shows. So there's that. There's also the channel memberships. There's a join button right below this video. That starts at $1.99. It also gives you the early access as well as the Discord access. And also you get your name turns green, you get a cool channel badge, and you get access to channel emojis. And once a month you get a membership milestone chat, which is basically a super chat at no additional charge. So those are both, I think, good deals. Also, if you pledge on the Patreon at the $10 or above level, I give you occasional Blender files. There is one that I'm planning to upload today. So yeah. In addition, you know, if you want, there's a Throne wish list in the description. So you see how Chesh got that cute Bulbasaur. I also have things on my wish list. None of them are cute Bulbasaurs, to be fair, but I have other things that could be sent.
Are you a coward?
I don't think that's why I don't have a cute Bulbasaur.
Do you not have the let people send you anything turned on?
Oh, actually, I do have that on, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Right,
yeah, you do. So there's a list of stuff that he would prefer, but Throne lets you just send whatever the fuck you want. So I have that turned on, and apparently, as does Dapper, so you could send either of us anything.
That's true. Or at least anything that you can buy and have Throne ship, which is not literally anything, but it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things, and a lot of those things are pretty inappropriate.
That's true. Throne does advertise to me that there's a lot of lingerie that I could put up on my wish list, and a lot of it is for people with a body that does not look a lot like mine.
Which is his long way of telling you that you could send me lingerie.
No, it was actually a long way of telling them that they could send me lingerie.
That you won't be able to wear.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they know my bust size somehow. It's possible. Petite Flower for $5 says, when Dapper says early access, he means early. Yeah, it's usually about 5 months.
Early. Yeah,
that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
We're about 5 months. We're a little less than 5 months, but yeah, 5 months.
I'm not going to ask you guys for anything except to go and subscribe to Debate Hub.
There you go. There's also a Steam wishlist linked. There's also a merch store if you want to get that. And last but certainly not least, if you want to help me get my animations out in time, like happened today, where I was able to get 2 different videos out, you can also help render for me. So there's a section in the description called How to Render for Me. You go to the website, you download the client that's appropriate to you, use that login information, and it will either send you my frames when they're available, which just directly renders for me, or when they're not available, if you use that program, it will render other people's frames, which gets me points. And then other people rendering my frame costs me points. So the higher points I have, the higher priority my frames are. And the more frames I use, the more points I have to spend. And so the more people that help me get those points offsets the cost of spending the points. That doesn't cost you any money that gets sent to me. It does run your GPU or your CPU. So like it might slightly up your electricity bill. So that's a decision you're going to have to make. But yeah, there we go. And remember, if we get 44 more super chats, which I don't think we will, but we might, you could do it. They're any color. So then I will do an extra stream on Sunday. And maybe I'll take most of Tuesday off.
We're just saying, let's take the constant rates of the degradation of the magnetosphere.
Which isn't constant. We have a map of the actual strength and direction of the magnetosphere in the Atlantic. That thing you were talking about that you know exists. And it goes not just weaker and stronger, but it also flips direction repeatedly. So it's not constant, Lawrence. We know it's not because we have a record of it. Taking a drink for that.
Take the constant rate of sedimentation, salt in the...
Sedimentation is one of the least constant rates that there are. It goes up when there's more water flowing. It goes down when there's a dry period. We know that these are things that happen. There is no constant sedimentation rate. There are maximum and minimum sedimentation rates that are available that we can look at. But also, there's erosion rates, Lawrence, which means we also can't just count up how thick the Earth's crust is, or the sedimentary layers of the Earth's crust, and multiply by some number and get the age of the Earth. That would at most get you a minimum age of the Earth. But even if you do that, Lawrence, it's way too old for your model. For $2, my finished journey. Sorry. Oh, for $2. What are you doing to me?
No.
Can I go?
No. I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. My unfinished. Stop it! My unfinished journey for $2 says hail Daps and Chesh and hail throne lists with a fist and a crown emoji. Thank you.
Yay.
The ocean, sediments in the ocean. And it doesn't work. The effects of degradation phenomena are observable and quantifiable.
The effects of degradation phenomena. That's not a phrase that means anything. I'm taking a drink.
And geological stratiformation and fossilization do not support the idea of long ages.
I mean, they do, though, and you just saying that they don't doesn't really help. And if you're saying, well, I gave the explanations few minutes ago, well, go watch our previous episodes because none of those work.
John 8:31-32. Then
Oh.
Jesus said,
Why does it look like this is a picture of a little girl frolicking in front of a prison? Like that looks like a guard tower and like some fences.
Because it is.
Oh, okay.
It is a little girl frolicking. This is
Must be a picture from America.
no, it's what America thinks Mexico looks like. That's why it's all yellow.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a Mexican girl. Yeah.
She's leaving the prison to hop the border.
If you can't afford like a nice Mexican vacation, you can just get some yellow tinted glasses and put them on, and then suddenly it's like you're in Mexico.
Yeah, there you go. Easy. Easy.
Yep. Naramdputs for $2 says the goal is doing a good impression of being for teal. I am not sure I understood that one, but thank you. And I also have to update here. I'm a little bit behind. Not so much behind that I'm going to drink for it, but I'm a little bit behind. All right, here we go. It's fine. You know what?
It's fine.
I have to manually enter the numbers because I'm too lazy to hook this up to like the YouTube API or something.
A bot.
Yeah, basically. So,
Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you.
What the fuck does that have to do with fucking geology, dude?
Nothing. Also, why is he so damn
Is it
quiet sometimes? The microphone is right next to his mouth. Does he just sometimes really speak softly?
Are we just gonna do the rest of this and we'll both just talk like this the rest of the
do some ASMR?
We'll just all talk really close to our microphones.
I'm not sure if everyone can handle that.
I'm not sure if everybody can handle that either.
I kind of feel like I'm about to make out with this microphone. It's really weird. Well, now it just seems like I'm making out with you, and that's even weirder. My unfinished.
Like that.
I'm being sexually harassed.
Yeah, you are.
My unfinished sock for $2 says, "Don't lie about geoscience. Like and share instead." And I agree. And don't let goblins sexually harass you. Which, by the way, speaking of sexual harassment from a goblin, we have some stuff to record.
It's true. We do.
Yep. So that'll be in the that'll be on the Dapper Dinosaur OnlyFans.
Can I ask for a favor from you?
You can ask.
Yeah, you don't have to say yes, but I took a really cool video of an ant messing with a dead wasp.
I saw that,
and it's on it's a really cool video, and I think that your chat would your Discord and stuff would really, really like it because it's a really cool video, and I got really close in on that ant's business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to show it sometime to your audience on stream, I think that would be really cool. I think they would like it.
Okay. Do you want me to just do it whenever, or do you want to save it for the next Tisdall Tuesday, or what?
I don't care.
Okay, well, I think because it's your video, I will save it for the next Tisdall Tuesday. Just remind me beforehand.
Yeah. Okay. I'll remember.
All right.
See, we need to set the...
Richard says, I need an adult. We'd need an adult in this room. Are you kidding me?
I am an adult.
You're one of the adults in Star Trek. You are not the adult on this show.
No.
You just made out with your microphone. Yeah.
Jesus gave us a mission to bring the good news. And the good news
by lying about geology.
Right. The good news is, hey guys, did you know that geology is wrong? No, I didn't actually. I don't think it is.
When did Jesus say geology was wrong? I don't think Jesus said that.
That's in the Gospel according to Tisdall, chapter 4, verse 13.
I don't recall Jesus telling you to go around and lie to people about anything in particular.
See, it's between the lines. You got to read between the lines. Oh. Yeah. So when Jesus says that he who lives by the sword dies by the sword, right in between that, what you're not reading is also if you lie about geology, that would be really cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tisdall, more like Tisdall.
God created us
Cheers.
recently, just like Jesus said. And he had a plan for everybody. That's good.
Citation needed.
Not here by mistake.
I mean,
when did Jesus say we were created recently? I want a citation on
that. So what he's going to go with is he's going to say that Jesus talks about Adam and Eve, and doesn't give any particular indication that they're not historical, and uses them as an example of how things should be in the present day, being how they were in the beginning. Of course, the problem there is that is using a ideology as it is intended, as a way to explain how things are today. But the fact that an ideological story is being used for ideologies doesn't actually mean that the story is true, right? Like if I said something like, Americans have a tradition of being open and honest, and I point back to the story of like George Washington cutting down the cherry tree, that's a thing that didn't happen. But I can still cite the story as being a part of like the American psyche and general like ethos around lying. Now, you could disagree with me that that's actually a part of the American character, and I would probably agree with you. But like, I could make that argument and use that as my ideology for why that is allegedly a part of the American ethos, is like against you being open and honest. And to some degree, I actually do think that America is characterized, at least on like a person-to-person level, by a certain amount of openness and honesty that is not always the case in all places. So I actually do think that it's probably true for a lot of people to some degree. But like, the story's still not true, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the story's true. Sorry.
There are two chats that I want to point out. Red Cedar said Jesus did talk about mountains moving by faith, but that was more about faith than about mountains.
That's true.
Isabella said, and the Lord did say, screw geology. That stuff's not real.
I remember that. Yeah. That's right in the Bible. You just open it up and it's right there.
He likes big butts and he cannot lie.
Who, Lawrence or God? All right.
Something about cleanliness being next to godlyhood. He's trying to be like Jesus, so that means he must like big butts.
Okay, sure. I'm not entirely sure how that follows, but I'm not going to argue with it.
And things are matching up with what the Bible says every day.
Yeah, as long as you lie about it, right?
Right, as long as you lie about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if all it takes is...
harken back to what the hell did the quote of the Bible that you bring up have anything to do with any of the geology things you said? It's zero. It's none.
See, the thing is that Lawrence is not here to give convincing arguments, right? Because he doesn't have any, and nothing that he said has been even remotely convincing.
And he's preaching anyway.
Oh, yeah. What he's actually here to do is to give people the happy, warm feelings in their heart that it turns out you were right all along, person in the pew. Yes, science is wrong. The Bible is literally true, even though Genesis 1 through 11 is inconsistent and self-contradictory all throughout that section. I mean, it's still inconsistent afterwards, but that's the section he's talking about.
Sure.
It doesn't matter that that's the case. So I'm going to tell you some things that confirm your bias that sound sciencey. And then, because I know that what you really want is emotional assurance, and I know that you have been primed to get that from biblical passages, I'm going to give you biblical passages that I think will help with that emotional assurance. He's just doing this performative thing. Sorry.
Yeah, to reinforce a dogma and their particular brand of that dogma.
Yep. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't care super much about that, because like if you wanted to like do that to reinforce your belief in like the Trinity or the virgin birth or whatever, I'm going to, okay, I don't really care. But where I care is where it encourages an anti-science bias, because we've got a lot of that going around. I don't know if you noticed, but all over the world, people are getting rid of they're ignoring the advice of doctors. They're not getting vaccinated. They're avoiding isolating themselves while they have infectious diseases and thereby spreading them. They're ignoring climate science. There's a whole bunch of ignorance and rejection of science that is happening as a choice by people, and it's getting people killed. And I would rather that not happen.
In a large amount. And people that are like not directly engaging in the same behavior.
Yeah, a lot of pseudoscience and science denial does not kill the science denialist or the pseudoscientist. It kills other people, other innocent people, right? Like when RFK Jr. went to what was it?
Sludge surfing?
I think it was Guam. I'm not positive, but he went to one of the territorial islands that the United States has all over the place, right? And he convinced them to stop giving vaccines. And like 80 babies died.
Yep.
He didn't die.
Nope.
I would rather that he
vaccines.
died. Yeah, that's part of it. But dude killed scores of babies. And what happens? Oh, I'm sorry. He's just the director of the National Institute of Health, I believe. Is that the? No, he's head of Health and Human Services. That's what it is. Yep.
He's in a position of power to have actually done something about it.
No, instead, what he's doing is just encouraging people to eat more beef tallow, which
Chad is saying it was Samoa.
Some American Samoa. Okay, all right, There we go. Not Guam. So, yep.
I don't generally think there's much of an issue with people believing things about like either religion-based, dogma-based, community-based, whatever. This is why I don't particularly mind when Tisdall whips out the God did it. Just do that then. It's fine. It doesn't have to be incompatible. Your religious faith does not have to be incompatible with most science. You can hand wave pretty much all of it away by saying God did it and move on with your faith and not have to have like a whole crisis about it. It's not a big deal. It's really not that hard to do. How do I know this? That's what I did. Worked fine for me.
I think it's what Dr. Schweitzer did. Worked fine for her too. At least as far as we know.
It's really, there are things that are incompatible with certain interpretations and certain versions of various religions, but the science is going to be the science regardless. So you can just be like, oh, well, God just did it that way, and we're just, stumbling around in the dark, figuring it out as we go, which does comport with the general theology of the New Testament in general Christianity, in like particularly westernized. So like it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You don't have to be a dick.
Orange Dot for $6.66 says, thanks to the Goblin community for supporting me during my mental health problems.
You should not be relying on goblins for your mental health. I'm just kidding. If you must have come very far to find us, the goblins. But yeah, no. Take care of yourself, man. We're around when we're around.
Heather Kuhn, who's been a member for 22 months, is at the Emnut level, says that was American Samoa. Yes. Sorry about that. I knew it was an island territory, and I was like, I don't remember which one. Let's see. So Ashley Loves Blahai, who's been a member for 16 months, is at the Tetrapod level, sends an alarmingly large number of combinations of colon and 3 curly face emojis, and then 4 trans pride flags. And thank you very much. And we do, in fact, stand trans rights here at the Dapper Dinosaur channel.
And the Bible indicates that it's a recent creation. If you look at Exodus 20:11, which is part of the 10 Commandments, what does...
Well, it's part of one of the 10 Commandment sections. It turns out there's more than one of those, but like, whatever, it's fine. Exodus 20 is the one that most people think of.
God say? He says, God created in the beginning.
This is, for in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth. It doesn't say God created in the beginning. He's just mixing up Genesis 1 and Exodus 20, which is a little weird, but like, whatever.
In 6 days, God created everything.
There it is. You got it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
the heavens and the earth.
Oh, he figured it out.
I've got to remember it in English. Someone get out Exodus 20:11. Someone must have a Bible here. Come on.
I prefer Exodus 7:20, and on that day God created the slushy and saw that it was good.
7-Eleven popped up.
Bible. Does this mic work?
I don't know, man.
I want someone to read it in real English as opposed to my English.
Oh, he's okay. I get it. When he cites a Bible verse, he's usually thinking of it as he has it memorized in French and then actively translated it from French to English. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a reasonable
This part's
time where you
reasonable.
you pull someone and get the actual English translation. I'm okay with that. Yeah, good job. In fact, you know what?
Yeah.
Cheers to you, Lawrence, for recognizing that linguistic limitation and coming up with a reasonable solution. I'll take a drink for it. Good job, buddy.
Oh, I'll go get my beer from the freezer.
Yeah.
Should be cold enough by now.
Someone who has a Bible who will read me Exodus 20:11, who has a good voice. Who has a good voice?
Isabella Tracer says he was remarkably unprepared for this talk. I mean, you could argue that, yeah, he should have an English language Bible handy, but like, I don't know. People forget things. I'm not going to dog him too hard for this.
But who has a Bible? Okay.
It is a little bit weird to me that he's in like a Protestant, high church, like a low church Protestant church, and there aren't just Bibles in the back of every single seat. Because when I was at the evangelical Protestant church, there were Bibles in front of every seat because they were in the back of every other seat. The only exception were if you were in the front row. So
When I was at a Protestant evangelical church, they did, it wasn't Bibles, it was all hymn books at the front.
We
front
had
seats.
both. We had like a
Once in a
smallish
while, in a while there'd be one flipping around, but usually you're expected to bring your own where I was at. So I don't know if it's different in the UK.
Well, when I was there, the pastor would often reference, if you're using like the Bibles in front of you, like the seatback Bibles, this verse is on page, and then he would just give the page number, which I thought was nice. It was convenient. So yeah, actually, I think I told you, but I not too long ago found my childhood church's YouTube channel.
You did tell me about this.
That's been interesting. Although they don't seem to preach about like young Earth creationism, and I also was like, well, I wonder if they're going to like do some like
changed.
Yeah. In fact, actually, at one point they just casually dropped that like a certain area in like the Levant had been inhabited since 6000 BC, and I was like, well, that's longer ago than young Earth creationism could account for. So, okay. And I was also looking evolving. Like, are they doing any like homophobia stuff? And the closest I found was the current pastor talking about how someone at the church's daughter had decided that if her mom couldn't agree with some statement that she had, that they couldn't stay in contact. And I have a sneaking suspicion that what's actually happening is that the person giving this ultimatum was actually her trans son. But I can't prove that. And it's just the vibe I got. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
You're being tentative about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, the pastor wasn't going to like spill this family's like all their business in public, which is probably the right call.
In public.
I mean, it's not in private if it's going up on the internet, right? If it's going on YouTube, it's in public. Yeah.
I just don't think, and again, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think that most people, when they spew family laundry in the church, think of it as in public.
That might be. I don't know. I've never been a pastor or a priest, so what do I know?
Valid.
For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy.
Part of the 10 Commandments.
That man had some lovely blue eyes.
There you go.
Thou shalt not kill. Keep the Sabbath. Unfortunately, we sort of consider thou shalt not kill more important than keep the Sabbath, but it's all part of the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
My God, this is not a conversation you want to have with me, I assure you.
I'm taking a drink. Lawrence, everyone takes thou shalt not kill, which is actually more thou shalt not murder, more seriously than keep the Sabbath holy for a very good reason. if I, like I usually do some work on Saturday, nothing really bad happens to anyone. Nothing.
I'm gonna push back on this one because
Uh-oh.
you're right, and also that is the way it should be. However, that is not what the Bible says. The theology on this is all sins are created equal, so murder should be treated just as
Okay.
equally as not murder. But also, I will throw in there that it's still not up to us to be judging. So why do we have prisons at all, or any punishment system, if it's all up to God to be doing that stuff?
But-
is it because
Chesh,
Jesus said to do it that way? Yeah,
the thing is,
okay.
that's not what the Bible says. That's what certain Protestants say. The Bible doesn't actually indicate that all sins are the same.
Oh,
in
right.
fact-
Yeah, this is just this is the
Right.
dogma part.
In fact, it has numerous law codes that give different severities of punishment for different offenses. And
Yes,
also,
especially in the Old Testament.
Jesus talks about certain things being harsher penalties in whatever divine, eternal, or not eternal, but in whatever post-mortem punishment that the author of that gospel is envisioning. And also, you know what group of people both take the commandment to keep the Sabbath holy very seriously, and who also think that the do not murder is more important? Jews.
Yeah.
Basically,
I wanna-
one of the general rules in Judaism is that, with very few exceptions, virtually any commandment is overridden if doing so helps save a life, including your own. So, for instance, if you're, say, starving on a desert island and what's around for you to eat is like, I don't know, coconut crabs that you can kill and cook, you eat the coconut crabs. You don't starve. You eat the coconut crabs. Are they kosher? No. You eat them anyway.
It's not a morality conundrum at that point. I'm going to climb on my soapbox for a second, though, and I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb and my pro LGBTQ soapbox, and I'm going to say there's enough of that dogma to predict this is a little bit where Tisdall is going. And if Tisdall is going to go the direction of saying all sins are equal, and that is a common thing, then you shouldn't, and you and your church should not be treating anybody who has been divorced poorly. You shouldn't be treating anybody who's LGBTQ poorly. You shouldn't be treating anybody who's ever lied poorly. This because that's up to God to sort them out after the fact. It's not up to you and your church to ostracize them and be an absolute piece of garbage to them or beat them into submission, because that's not what the dogma even says. The dogma says to treat all sins equally, so stop being such a judgy little bitch. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now.
Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy Light for $6.99 Beaver Buck says, Lawrence is telling on himself now. He doesn't have morality at all, just obedience. That's certainly true to a certain extent. Well,
not enough to stop him from lying.
Well, there's that, right? But the lies.
I'm pretty sure that's
his
in the
dogmas.
10 Commandments, isn't it?
Well, technically, you can make a pretty good case that what's actually being forbidden is
in the 10
giving
Commandments,
false.
right?
Well, what you could argue that what's actually going on is it's more of
False
a
testimony.
testimony, like in a court situation. But most people generalize that to mean that lying is like it's what is it? It's generally considered to not be okay. That's the presumptive. It's presumptively wrong to lie. You might be able to overcome that presumption, maybe in certain circumstances, but presumption is that it's bad.
Here, I'm gonna go back out on a limb. I'm gonna say if he is fine with conflating murder and killing, then the lie is he's like thou shalt not lie. And if he is saying that all sins are equal, then we should be treating murder if he's suggesting and implying that we should either be treating murder the way we treat the Sabbath, or we should be treating the Sabbath.
Nope, Chesh froze.
Tisdall, who's been lying this entire time.
You just froze there for a little while.
Oh no! Am I back?
Yeah.
Where did I cut out?
Basically, I think we got it. You were saying that he should treat murder and the Sabbath as the same thing. Either way, either treat one as lightly as the other, or treat the other as seriously as the first one. And the thing is, no one's actually going to do that, right? Like ever.
No, I know nobody's gonna. But let me get to the end of my point, because
nope, the YouTube does not want you to get to the end of your point because you froze again. So I'm just going to hit play, and we're just going to assume
that seems to be
that you froze exactly the same point again, and you're frozen again. Chesh, you should hang up and come back in.
Keep the Sabbath mean keeping 1 day of rest.
I mean, it's specifically the sixth day, but not just any day of rest. But, what do I know?
Very interesting. God said he created in 6 days everything. The heavens, the earth, what's in the water. Now, there are places in the Bible we are not really prone to interpret. And the 10 Commandments has got to be one of those places. God wrote it with his hand. We don't go,
Okay. Chesh is trying to come back, I guess.
Ah,
I can hear you, but I can't say. Oh, there you are.
hello.
Okay. So Lawrence just said that this is one place where we shouldn't try to interpret. Lawrence, you have no choice but to interpret every single word that you read in the Bible, because the Bible isn't beaming meaning into your brain supernaturally from the pages without you having to look at the words, take them into your mind, interpret those words in the language that you understand, along with the various grammatical forms so you can make sense of what's functioning where in the sentence, and then come up with a meaning in your own mind. That is how reading works. Lawrence, I'm taking a drink. Hold on.
Yeah, that is literally just what reading is. That's just reading. And he's got to go through another language.
Right. I'm pretty sure that Lawrence does not know Biblical Hebrew. Not that I do. But
multiple languages, because the guy just read an English passage to him in English, and he's French.
Well, he's Quebecois.
Well, all I'm saying, he's got multiple language hurdles to jump over.
Yeah. So there is no option where we don't interpret the 10 Commandments. You can say, I want to take the 10 Commandments very literally. Okay, that's an interpretive choice. And it's not inherently superior to any other choice. Pillowpunk for $2 says, Pillowpunk says for $2, how does one read without interpreting Tisdall? Yeah, that's the thing. You can't. It's physically impossible. It's like saying breathe without taking in air. Like, you can't. That's what it is.
Breathe without inflating your lungs.
Right. Turtles can do it because they can butt breathe. Well, some turtles can breathe through their butts without the air getting to their lungs. They take it in through the intestines.
That's neat.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wish I could do that. I could stay underwater a really long time. You know?
Would you want to?
Sometimes. I like being underwater.
I don't know. I don't trust the water in the United States.
I mean, if it's like pool water and has been well treated and it tests well with the pool testing kits, then who cares?
Well, clearly you cared if you did all the work.
Well, yeah. I mean, who would be worried about it? Because I already know the chemistry. I checked the chemistry, right?
Well, yeah, you did all the work. I'm just saying I would rather do that here where there's tons of fresh water and it's pretty safe.
I mean, there are a lot of really very clean waterways in the United States in certain places. There are also some absolutely filthy waterways.
For now.
That's true. But that's also true for Canada. Those waterways won't last forever. They'll be gone eventually. The sun will expand, destroy the earth, and they'll be gone.
Canada will just be an ice planet at that point.
Canada's like, we're off to Hoth, everybody.
Yeah, we're leaving. Bye. Like Looney Tunes.
Olivia Williams,
Rockets.
Purple Fairy Light for $6.99. Beaverbuck says, don't interpret the 10 Commandments so everyone don't interpret not boiling lambs in their mother's milk. Yeah, there is no option other than to interpret. Weirdo Rock Hyrax Evans for $2 says, for the chat making Pikachu Nefesh happen.
What? What is this?
Well, there's a Godzilla, so we'll take a drink and then I'll explain it.
Yes, please elaborate. I want to know what this is.
So the actual rule in Judaism that basically says virtually any commandment can be set aside in order to save a human life is called Pekua Nefesh. And so it's been changed to Pikachu Nefesh, which is like the Pikachu of life.
Good. So, oh my god. The Pikachu of life. What a concept.
I also appreciate that I have an audience who is well educated enough to actually
who can make that kind of a joke.
Yeah, that's a kind of a deep cut Judaism joke that is also not anti-Semitic because Judaism jokes have a tendency to be. So I appreciate both that my audience is well educated enough to make such a joke.
Lazy Judaism jokes tend to be. Yeah. And this is not lazy. This is top tier. This is high quality work.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go.
Thou shalt not kill. How should we interpret that? Maybe
Well, you're already getting it a little bit wrong by translating it as kill. From my
You're literally
understanding,
interpreting it to get it wrong.
right? Yeah. So I'm not a Hebraist, so any Hebraists in the chat can correct me. But if I remember correctly, the word there is specifically a form of kill that involves like unlawful or unjust killing. So it's murder, not killing, because I mean, people kill each other all the time in the Bible, and it's not seen as like a violation of this commandment. And that's because it's a command against murder, not just any old killing. Carrie Bronson, who's been a member for
people
61
conflate killing and murder a lot, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, not all killing is murder. Not all murder. No, all murder is killing, but not all killing is murder. Although I guess you could say like you could figuratively kill someone, and that could be a murder. You know,
You can murder by words.
yeah, like JD Vance did to the old Pope.
No, he shook his hand, and then he died.
Yeah, and okay, Katie Lewis, if you're watching, yes, I know that's not actually what happened, but I like to think of JD Vance as the kind of guy who would kill the Pope with his mere
Headcanon.
presence.
Yeah, yep, headcanon.
Carrie Bronson, who's been a member for 60 months, says the audience reflects the streamer. That is true,
Yeah.
and that is flattering.
That is true.
So, I
I have a question for your chat, if you don't mind me asking them something.
as long as it's not going to violate any community guidelines.
It probably won't.
All right, then go for it.
Dapper owes me at least one lecture for Debate Hub.
Oh no.
If you had something that you wanted Dapper to talk about and give like an hour-long lecture on, what would you like it to be?
I want to point out that when Chess says that I owe her this is a debt that she made up whole cloth that I did not agree to.
You agreed. I asked you and you said yes.
I don't remember that, just like I don't remember Debate Pub being a thing I actually agreed to.
It's awfully convenient what you do and do not remember, but you still show
That's
up.
true. That's true. And I enjoy showing up. I just am pointing out that technically I never actually agreed to any of this.
As opposed to me agreeing to be here because I'm the one who brought up Tisdall in the first place.
That is exactly what happened.
I would like to point out that the Debate Hub logo was your idea, so
That's true.
like
That's
you
true.
made that logo.
Yeah, it wasn't even just my idea. That's actually literally my art right there. Like I sat and made it. I even made the little like
See, Fitz agrees
ripple
with me.
animation. Oh, Fitz, how could you?
Fitz agreed. Yeah. See?
All right. Well, let Chesh know. Like actually, like tag her or tag me, I guess. All right.
Yeah, let us know. I want to
Yeah.
hear what you guys have to think.
Doesn't mean quite what it says. Huh? Thou shalt not kill means thou shalt not kill. That's pretty simple.
It's not though, because there are numerous times when pretty much everyone agrees that "thou shalt not kill" is actually not operative. Although, if you say "thou shalt not murder," then I guess we could say that's always true. And then the question just becomes, when is killing murder? Which is a different question that still requires interpretation.
My guy, philosophy is not that easy, and nor is ethics inside of philosophy. Ethics is incredibly difficult and very uncomfortable for a lot of people. I would say most people that I even talk about.
Like when it comes to like when is killing murder, I bet I could find a whole lot of people saying that what Luigi Mangione is accused of wasn't murder.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of other people seem to disagree.
And so when it talks about God creating in 6 days, he created in 6 days. When Jesus said it was done recently, it was.
By the way, this all just assumes the historicity of these accounts.
Recently.
Right?
Recently.
Yeah.
Recently is a loose word.
It is very
It's
loose
relative,
word.
very relative.
And that's good news.
Is it good news that your holy book, as interpreted by you, Lawrence, contradicts very basic facts about reality? Because I would consider that bad news if I were at this church.
Bad news for your book.
Or at least bad news for his interpretation of it, I suppose.
Because that's a plan. That's just part of the plan. Jesus sat with the disciple when he walked.
There's a
with
lot
the
of
disciples.
murder as part of the plan.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why, but this video needs to have way more like those keyframes where it like updates with a full frame of color data instead of like all these frames where like it just uses the movement data and it uses it for way too long, and we get that weird like data moshing effect.
For his resurrection, he explained to them from the writings of Moses. He couldn't explain to them from the New Testament. Didn't exist yet.
That's technically true. We'll take a drink. It is true that the New Testament didn't exist when Jesus was around.
Right? He was explaining from the Old Testament, and their hearts burned within them. Yes, it's a good.
Do you have anything
news.
besides Bible?
Yes. We got a good time. We're actually running really good time, so you'll be happy. After I say this, that's a good opportunity. We didn't do that before. And they went to a university science class.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Someone asked me if I believe in extraterrestrial life. In fact, I know what we can do. We can take some question and answers after I say this. That's a good opportunity. We didn't do that before. Someone asked me a question, do I believe in extraterrestrial life? And I said, well, I do.
Bruce Wayne points out alcohol isn't the answer, but it is a solution, and that is literally true.
It's good for motivation.
Well, it's also literally a solution.
Listen. Nobody. I made that reference. I quoted something, and not a single one of your audience members will recognize it. I assure you. If you recognize it, if you think you recognize it, put it in the chat, and I will bow down to you if you do.
You get a free week on Chesh's OnlyFans.
Aliens came to Earth, and they went to a university science class, and they had just observed what was happening, and they heard.
Oh, this is going to be cringe, isn't it?
How material that was non-living somehow popped and became a living cell. They didn't know how, but it happened. And then
I want to point out that while it is true that we do not know how it actually historically happened on Earth that non-living material formed the first cells, we have numerous hypotheses, all of which are plausible. And it's more of a question of we don't know which one of the multiple hypotheses actually happened, but we have pretty much every step of the way with at least a few plausible options. And we're just working on narrowing that down. So it's not that we have no idea. We don't know what happened. We have a very good idea about many of the things that could reasonably happen. And yeah, it's sort of like if I showed up in a car at like Chesh's place and she's like, how'd you get here? And I said, I drove. Well, guess what? There's a whole bunch of different routes that could take me from Tucson to the city that Chesh lives in. And they're all different. Like it's like, okay, Chesh lives in Ontario. No, that's not a secret. To get from here to any place in Ontario, I can go all sorts of different ways. I could go through Detroit and go through some of the bridges there. I could go basically just up north and like take a right onto the Trans-Canada Highway. I could go all the way over into like New York and then come over around Niagara to get into the little peninsula area in Ontario. Hell, I could go all the way into like Maine, across into Quebec, and then go west. The fact that I have a lot of options and that I doesn't mean that I couldn't get there or that we don't know anything about how I got there by car, because I showed up in a car. So there's only so many ways that I could have done that. And the fact that we don't know which exact route I took doesn't mean I didn't take any route at all. It doesn't mean I didn't drive to Chesh's place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here I am.
I looked up, I typed in the thing that's showing on the bottom of the screen, www.trueorigin.org, and I sent you the link to it because I just need you to look at this website just for a second.
Okay.
Just visually, just look at what it looks like.
Is it... What? Why is it an archive of the wait, oh, it's not. It looks like it's the Talk Origin archive. It's like tricking you. What the? I'm drinking for this. That is ridiculous.
Guys, do you guys want to see it? I'll put the link in the chat.
This is absurd. I demand my money back.
I've just given you another year worth of content. You're welcome.
Oh my god. You'll have to be there for it.
Oh no.
Also, if I ever do drive to your place, I should totally just pop in on one of your streams and then like wave at the camera and then just walk off. And that'll be how people know that I showed up at your place randomly. We'll be talking about volcanoes and then suddenly my ass is just in the camera like, hello, bye.
I feel like it's gonna, like, if that happened, one of the things would be like I'd be saying something or I would have done something like this on your channel and you'd be like, hold on, I gotta go do something, I'll be right back. You'll walk away and you'll say, hey Chesh, say this thing about this thing, and I'll be sitting there explaining it, and then you'll come into halfway into my frame and like just bonk me with like an inflatable hammer and then just walk back around.
Or I'll send you a super chat in Klingon, then when you get it wrong, I'll just show up in your room to yell it at you.
The only real way of speaking Klingon is yelling.
It's I mean, it's not quite true, but it's almost true. All right, here we go.
Talked about how the living cell somehow, magically, I guess, sort of became a...
No, that's you.
Bro, you're the
It's
one
you.
who literally thinks it was a miracle from God. What are we talking about
He literally
here?
said because God did it earlier. Like,
Oh my
that's
God.
you.
I'm taking a
Stop
drink for
pretending like you
crazy
don't
hypocrisy.
get to argue. You do not get to argue that, oh, it just magically happened as if it's a bad thing when you are literally leaning on that argument for part
Right.
of your fucking stuff.
I
dropped our F-bomb.
That's all right. That's only the one. Like, literally, that is your model, is that it magically happened one day. The scientific world doesn't quite have a full model yet, but none of the ideas involve magic.
You can never have a 100% completed model because you don't know what you don't know.
That's true.
Well, there's a lot of difference between a fish, but it happened. Maybe some worms before that and some trilobites. And then the fish decided they didn't like it in the water after millions of years of living there. They said they'd walk up on land, but they got halfway there and sort of stopped, and so you had the...
Hey, Lawrence, have you ever heard of a walking
No.
catfish or a mud skipper? Those are fish that sometimes need to come on land, and they have adaptations to help them move around on land. It's almost like we still have fish that sometimes come on land. Weird. It's almost like we have a precedent for this, and it's not that hard to understand why a fish might need to come on land and why further adaptations to doing so might be, like, selected for by this natural selection thing.
amphibians.
Also, perhaps, maybe, stop imposing human thought in the 21st century to billions, even thousands of year-old fish as if it's applicable.
Right?
Around the frogs. And then the frogs, we don't know exactly how, but they decided they didn't want to stay in water either, or the amphibians, and they came out and became...
Only for the second half of their life.
Yeah, the whole point of amphibians is that they're largely terrestrial for a lot of their adult life. Goop23, who's been a member for 48 months at the tetrapod level, says, Mud Skipper Davis. I like it.
Very funny. I like that.
If you could draw Kip's face on a mud skipper body, I would appreciate it. I mean, I already do have his face on a mudkip body.
That. Yeah, the mudkip, the Dr. Mudkip is pretty good. I like that one too. Could I put? I've got a Pokemon trainer that I did of Landon, making him a Pokemon professor, and I invented a lowland variant of cast form where it's a little volcano. Can I put Dr. Mudkip in his Pokemon chart of the Pokemon that he has?
I don't see why not. Whose permission are you seeking?
No, I just need the artwork.
Oh.
Now, the insect came out of we don't know where, but that's what happened.
Oh, yep, lungfish too,
What?
as Heather Kuhn points out. I'll just rewind a second. No, that's all right.
Lost me on insects.
Exactly how, but they decided they didn't want to stay in water either, or the amphibians, and they came out and became reptiles. Now,
No. The amphibians that he's thinking of, because he already said frogs, are Lysamphibia. That is its own separate group from amniotes, which are still not all reptiles. And then the amniotes, which are the tetrapods that have amniotic sacs around their eggs so they don't lose water. Some of those went on to become sauropsids, which is the reptile side. And then some of them went on to become synapsid, which includes the mammals. And none of them were ever frogs, because frogs didn't evolve until the Mesozoic, long after amniotes evolved.
Insect came out of we don't know where, but that's what happened.
Insects are crustaceans.
Insects came out of we don't know where.
Except that they're crustaceans. So we know that. I'm taking a drink.
Stop saying things that just because you don't know them doesn't mean there's no answer. Just look.
Right.
He's like, oh, I've looked at all these things from science, but I don't know where insects came from. I don't know what their classification is, as if there isn't a classification list.
They came from Des Moines. Oh, and look, there's Mothra again, which you guys probably can't hear.
I heard it.
Yay.
and we believe it because we know it happened that way because we're here. And so then the reptiles, well, then some birds sort of appeared, and so these really, really, really big reptiles became these really, really, really small birds.
No, Lawrence, there have always been small theropods. Not all theropods were gigantic. Taking another drink.
Has this man never heard of an ostrich? Or a cassowary?
Also, yeah, there's that too. Some
Or
birds
an
are really,
emu?
really big. Yeah.
Or a harpy eagle? There are some, or vultures. There's some very, very, very large birds out there.
Or
There are some
Argentavis.
birds that are larger than he is. So I think he can take his scrawny ass and shove it.
Chesh, do you know about Argentavis?
No. Yeah, I'm assuming it's a Muppet.
Google it. You'll be interested.
Argentavis.
I spelled it in
Is it I-S? Oh, I've got it. I spelled it right. I spelled it right.
I spelled it wrong.
Oh my god. Extinct genus of Pteratornithid?
But
Is
did you
that
see
the
the
right
picture?
thing?
Look at the pictures.
But yeah, I'm just making sure I got the right thing because I didn't
Yeah.
believe that I spelt it correctly.
Sounds like you did.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah, real
I love
big.
big vulture looking thing. I like
Yeah.
it.
But, you know,
Big
that's how it works. And we don't know how that works. And then, after all these hundreds of millions of years,
Also, we do know how it works. We know about things like horizontal gene transfer, mutation, recombination, natural selection, genetic drift, the founder effect. We know about all these things. We know how it works.
these
He took a
terrestrial mammals...
picture of it and put it beside like a beetle, like the car.
Oh,
Why?
because people know how big those are. For 279, Beaverbucks Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy Light says, I also guess he never heard of Compsognathus. Oh, almost certainly. Or if he has heard of it, he's just lying, I guess.
Well, I mean, he's been known to lie so far, so I wouldn't be surprised if his pants caught on fire in the next couple minutes.
True.
these really, really, really small birds. But, you know, that's how it works. And we don't know how that works. And then, after all these hundreds of millions of years, these then the mammals appear, right? The mammals appear.
No, the mammals and birds appear about the same time in the middle of the Jurassic. Now, that's crown mammals, right? If you want to say that what counts as mammals is like, I don't know, like Mammaliformes, then we're going back into like the early Jurassic or maybe the end Triassic.
To the reptile dinosaur, you got the mammals appear. And so the mammals are very interesting creatures because after hundreds of millions of, well, I don't know, 75, 80 million years.
No, you can say after about 150-ish million years. That's fine.
Drop in the bucket. They decided they wanted to go back to their roots, back to the water.
He says this like there's no advantage to exploiting food sources in the water. Hey, Lawrence, you live in Canada, a country which is known for having significant populations of moose. Did you know that moose sometimes frequently go into the water to eat the plants in the water? They're basically semi-aquatic deer. Do you think of deer as water animals, Lawrence? Because most people don't. And yet the moose exists.
And yet deers are relatively closely related to whales.
So true.
Relatively. Which would fall, like the moose would fall under that heading. But also, like, it's not even like shallow water, my guy. Like one of the main predators known for moose is orcas.
Mm-hmm. So
my brother in Christ, they go swimming down. They're gone.
This whole thing is just like, why would terrestrial animal exploit aquatic resources? I don't know, Lawrence, why is it happening right now? Why are river otters a thing, but then also sea otters are a thing? And have you noticed that otters are basically just water weasels, Lawrence? Have you noticed that?
Have you noticed that the sea otters tend to be the smaller otters as opposed to like the Amazonian fucking river otters that are huge and terrifying?
Yeah. Like these aren't even questions that you need to go look something up. You can just think about the world around you for just a few minutes.
This is trivia you can find in like a bottle cap.
Hell, we could also point at polar bears. Most bears don't swim in the ocean. Polar bears do almost nothing but swim in the ocean. What are we doing?
Did you know that Canada has the largest polar bear population?
It's not Russia?
Mm-mm. Apparently, it's Canada.
Get wrecked, Russia. I've never seen a wild polar bear, have you?
In person? No.
I've seen captive
I'm not
polar
that far
bears.
north.
I feel like all of Canada is that far north.
Tisdall would take a tortoise and throw it into the water. I don't like how correct you are. That's
Jeez.
upsetting. It's very upsetting.
And so some mammals that are basically close to a camel or a whale, a camel or a cow.
No, a lot closer to a hippo. Another animal that spends most of its time in the water, Lawrence.
What about seals, my guy? What about penguins? They spend all. They're birds.
Seals are basically just bears that decided the ocean was home now.
Yeah.
Decided that they go back into the water and become dolphins and whales, which weigh up to 50 tons.
I like this, which weigh up to 50 tons, as if changing in your overall size isn't something that can happen very rapidly. And also, I once did the calculation. How much bigger on average would a calf as an adult have to be, like, larger than its mother to go from something the size of Pachycetus to something the size of Basilosaurus in the time frame that we have, which is like 25-ish million years. And it turns out that the size difference was like 0.25% bigger on average.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think you can think of a lot of people, like you're a human, so you probably know women who've given birth to babies who turned out to be a whole lot bigger than they were as adults, than like 0.25% bigger. Like, that's nothing. And he's like, how could they have turned into these giant animals? That's how. By being on average per generation about less than 1% bigger than their parents.
I'm just going to be a jerk for a second. I'm going to tell Lawrence to do a quick Google search. Go find Asian people standing next to Scandinavians.
Yeah. Yep. I remember when I was in Hong Kong in my human suit, and my human suit is not particularly tall. But when I was in Hong Kong or Japan, I still was like a full head taller than just about everyone there. Is that some kind of crazy, inexplicable miracle of evolution? Or could it just be that it's actually not that hard to vary in height or length? It's just not.
Not a big deal.
Really not.
I am a homunculus.
Oh, it's about time to wrap things up.
Oh, we did it.
We did some of it. We did about 9 minutes worth of Tisdall.
I feel like we did better about getting through more of this week than we did last month.
That's probably true.
I feel like last month we made it like 3 minutes. Like, we barely watched it at all.
You know what? It's not how much we watch. It's the journey along the way. Maybe the real friends are the
puns.
The
it's
puns
the drinks
that we made
take,
along.
the puns we make along the way.
Yep. All right. So, Chesh, what do you got coming up that you want people to know about? Be snappy.
There's some exclusive Dapper Dinosaur content over on Debate Hub that has come out that are videos that you should absolutely go watch, with Dapper memeing on Osmongold about sexual dimorphism. He's also going to be live with us on Saturday, and with Borg and Poria, and they're going to be debating the Maquis from Star Trek about who really was the good guy and who really was the bad guy. And it's going to be very fun, and it's going to be very good, and I definitely recommend you go and check it out. As for my channel, I'm around doing whatever, so just come on by. I'm being a goof. It's a good time. Other than that, I don't care. Do what you want. I'm not your mom.
Yeah. Also, for your birthday, I also, in addition to sending you a couple things from Throne, linked people to Debate Hub.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
If you guys want, it was just my birthday. If you guys want to give me a birthday present, go to Debate Hub and share it with a friend.
That was exactly my recommendation, if I remember correctly. Yep. Do that.
Yes, please.
Yep.
I would really appreciate that.
Also, do know that if you go to Throne and you send me like lingerie that doesn't fit, I'm probably not going to wear it.
You're going to send it to me? You're going to pass it on?
I mean, if you pay for the shipping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if it fits Chesh, it definitely won't fit me. Because Chesh is
swimming in it.
Yeah. You'll try on the slip and it just falls right off.
It's not even just.
All right. So what's coming up here on this channel? Let's see. On Thursday, we have Georgia on Genetics, Part 1. Georgia Purdom is finally giving a talk inside her area of expertise, which means
That's exciting.
she doesn't get any excuses for getting it wrong.
Yeah.
So, So that's going to be there. That's about an hour long. That'll be at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Then on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are doing Star Trek Endurance over on Top Hats Off. Chesh will be there. I will be there. Craig McNeil should be there. Jordan from Reason to Doubt should be there. Zerolon should be there.
Maddie.
Let's see. Maddie should be. No, Maddie won't be there. She won't be there.
Oh, Manya.
Manya will be there. We've got Tiri Rana will be there. So, you know, it's a fun crew. So come hang out.
My
and
crew
also,
of dysfunctional children.
Yeah. Which numbers 7 players, by the way, plus me. So like
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So come say hi and support us because it's a lot of work to run an RPG for 7 players. Before this campaign, my usual limit was like 6 is my absolute maximum, and I preferred 4 to 5. And now I'm at 7.
I think the biggest I've done is, I think I've done 8. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
8's so much.
It's not. It's a lot. Like, it's not good. It doesn't
No.
make for a good tabletop game, I find. Like, we had fun when I did it. It wasn't super long or anything, but like, I prefer, like, 6 is like top. 4 is the lowest, so I like to be between those numbers. I can manage 7, but I prefer 4 to 6. Personally.
Yeah, but you know, I think our group of 7 is doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps that we're doing a show, so people feel like they need to be, they need to be like a little bit more patient and a little bit more professional. Anyway.
I also like to be the captain and leave myself on the ship, so it limits the number of people that are trying to do stuff at a time. It helps out with that a little bit.
Yeah. It also helps you do a lot of the producing because you're the producer for that show.
Yeah.
So Saturday, we will be back with hopefully Kip and Vishanti this time, instead of just trading off duties between the two of them like we did the last 2 weeks. And we'll be back talking about that sermon about baraminology. So there you go. If you have access and are so inclined, feel free to head over to my Discord where we will be watching, I believe, episodes 3 and 4 of season 3 of Star Trek Enterprise. And next Tuesday should be Matt with Maddie, same time as this show. So with that, I will leave you for the evening, and I will go hop over to the Discord and start watching Star Trek. And the last thing I have to say, of course, is that ICE must be abolished.
Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Ben Tovand, Tapioca Weasel, The Plastic Mouse, Mikhail Dominiak, Sphincter of Doom, Regios, Landon Knoll, Eleron Teller, Phil Rivera, David Hercules, Joshua Geese, Dan Sheedy, Pega Jace, Arrow Dodger, Gordon Love Science, Ember Athelian, Prixie Purple, Agricola Sequa, Me, Myself, and I, Ian Kiambi, Kenneth Swenson, Max Cherry, and John Ackerman. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 15% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.